Hello. Yesterday I made some envelopes while I was waiting for a video to upload, and several people thought the video was about the envelopes. So I just thought, I've got to make some more. Why not film? Why not show you how I did them? They're pretty easy. They're nothing new. Lots and lots of people make envelopes like this. So let's make a start. Just thought I'd show you a few books that I'm using. This one is Self-Educators, and I have a full set of these. The covers are not fantastic, but they're pretty cool. It's vintage paper. It's quite nice and thick, but it's quite smooth. This one is the Concise British Flora in colour, and this is an older version, so the paper is it's a really nice thick paper, and it's kind of yellowed. The other copy I've got they're slightly shinier pages, and they're much more white. I've got the Wild Flowers, which you can see has several pages missing from this. But this is, again, one side. This is slightly shinier, but it's very, very pretty. And I also have the Complete Handbook of Garden Plants. And this, again, this is much shinier, but much more colourful in terms of the pages in here. So they're the books I'm using. And I also wanted to show you another book that I've picked up, because I know you guys like to know what books are like. And this one cost me 50p. The illustrated book of insects, and I think I do have the illustrated book of flowers, but look at that cover. How gorgeous is that? And this is very similar to the Flora book, so it's insects on, you know, one side and then the text on another. So gorgeous pages in here. Some of them are a little bit, and obviously if you're not a Beatles fan, I think I saw worms and things as well. So some of the pages might not be for you. So let's make a start. Oh, I actually need that book. This is the book that I made the previous envelopes from. So what I'm going to do is, I mean, they're all really pretty, so it doesn't really matter. I'm tearing these out because I want that rough edge on one side of my envelope. Normally I would pull, I mean, what I could do is pull a few pages out like that. If I'm using them in a journal, obviously I'm much more careful and take it apart properly. So, oh, that's a gorgeous page, isn't it? I'm going to use that one. So we'll do two. And what I do is, what I did with these ones is you can see that they are all the same size. And I did that by keeping my page the right way up and turning it over, lining up the pages. And I did this with 3 pages at a time because I wanted them all the same size. So I'm going to turn this up and just lightly score that, because I'm going to do it again individually. And then I just want a little gap, and just use my nail and just put a little crease in there. So then I can line my envelopes up and put my full crease in, and I know these envelopes are going to be the same size. Now you could go fancy if you wanted to and draw a line down here and then put a hinge in, but I'm sewing these and I actually like the look of sewing the rough edge. I really do like that. So that's what I'm doing today. So let's make, these pages are from the same book, but they are, that's from that Educator. But these are the index pages at the back. So I'm going to do the same with these. I'm not worried about these all being the same size, these being the same size as those. So I'm going to do a couple of these because I've got an idea I want to try. I don't know if we'll actually make all of these. This is obviously just an idea of how you can make sure they're the same size if you're doing a set. So So there's those, and I want to do a couple of smaller ones. So these are the pages from those 2 other books. I think I'm going to use these. How gorgeous that is. Stunning. So, same principle. All 3 the same. Just going to roughly fold there and roughly there. Okay, so there we go, our envelopes. Now the first thing I'm going to do is kind of work on the fronts, and again the whole purpose of this was to kind of use some of my scraps. I've kept my I've kept my scrap box out on my desk, only I now seem to be getting more full pages in here again, so it's not really working out exactly as I'd planned. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a little side patch, because those stickers are vellum, the ones that I've been using, and as we discovered with the butterfly yesterday, you do actually get the print from underneath showing through, and these are quite busy, so I don't want that to happen, but I don't mind something a bit plainer. So I've got some of these are just pages that I've pulled out of a book and they haven't been used. We've got lots of dictionary page, and we will need some dictionary page. I've got some more of that German page, and what else? I think it's all samey now. Oh, this is quite handy. I've just got some diary paper, plain diary pages. So let's go for the lined first. So I think I'm going to use the vintage on these, and I want something quite white on here. So maybe the German paper on those, and then that I think I'm going to use the cream on. So some of this is already. So the flat edge I'm going to line up with the flat edge on here, so I'm not going to waste anything. And this piece, rather than to put that back in the box and tear another sheet up, I'm just going to tear that. So perfect to get rid of some of these scraps. So that's those 2 sorted. And these 3. Try and remember to stay on screen. I'm not worried if this has not got a flat edge. I'll have a couple of these. So how wide? I'd say half this book page actually. And I'm going to tear that piece off too. Oh, Luna's got something to moan about. Yeah. She is a very, very chatty cat. This one is a bit smaller, but I think I'm still going to go with that. Yeah. So these 2, I'm going to use a piece of this old diary page. So I don't know what, I keep moving over here because my bin is down there, and it's just how I tear when I'm crafting on my own, so it's just habit. I don't mean to keep going off screen when I'm tearing. Okay, let's put that in the bin. In actual fact, I'm only going to do one of these. Yeah, I'm only going to do one of these with paper because I want to do something else on here, which I will which I will show you. Right, so unfortunately, you know what's next. I have to ink. I won't do the inking around the envelopes. I'll do that as I'll do that off camera. I'll do that before I post the final images of those. This vintage ledger paper feels absolutely amazing. It's got such a gorgeous feel to it. I can't describe it. I don't think I've ever felt a piece of paper like this before. The cat, I think she just realised the camera was on and changed her mind. She does have a little kind of sixth sense about the camera. These are so much fun to make, and they're just so easy to make bulk of. I mean, I just did 3 yesterday thinking my video would be quick to upload, and it didn't. It took, I think it was like 2.5 hours, which is quite long for me because I never do videos that long normally. My videos are usually quite small, and I'm surprised actually how many comments I got about people finding it difficult to keep up with this 100-day challenge. I wish I'd done it. I wouldn't have filmed every day, I don't think, but there are some really cool, quick kind of craft ideas coming out of it. It's just keeping up with the amount of videos that are being done at the moment. There's so many. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick this down because this is kind of exactly where I want these. I'm just going to get rid of this blob of glue that I got stuck on my finger. Yeah. She was having a right old moan this morning because I was cooking scrambled egg, and scrambled egg is actually quite good for cats. So when I have scrambled egg, cat has scrambled egg, and she loves it. She has her own little plate. But oh my days, talking about meow, 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 because she knew what I was doing and she was so desperate for this scrambled egg. I had to swap the plates because she sat on the plate on the worktop waiting for her scrambled egg. So I do have a lot more washing up. Well, I don't do the washing up, my other half does. I've got a sign in our kitchen that says real men do dishes. So, which was quite amusing. Who was it? Oh, I watched a hilarious video yesterday. Oh my days, I can't remember who it was. It was 5 tips for being more creative. So one was don't do your washing up, get a dishwasher or get a man to do it, or your children. What's the other one? There was this is so me, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate. Don't put your clothes away. You know, after you've washed your clothes and you make a pile, just live out of that pile. You know, don't waste time putting the clothes away. And that's exactly what I do. So it was a very amusing video. Oh, I wish I could remember who it was. If I find it, which I'm probably able to find, I will actually link the video down below, so do go and check it out. Very, very amusing. Oh, and it was about if you go craft shopping, don't put your craft shopping away. I won't tell you anymore because it's kind of a spoiler, isn't it? I'll put the link down below and I'll tell you about it first. That seems a bit pointless. It's like trying to watch a movie with my kids and tell you everything that's going to happen. They obviously get it from me. Sorry. Okay, right, so got those. Now this one, I'm not sure how this is going to work. I've just grabbed my, it's one of my calligraphy pens, and this is the fine one. So what I thought I would do, instead of, because this is text, what I would do is actually make a kind of very rough grid to pop in the image. So I'm going to put my sticker into that. So that's the next part, stickers. So we now have a fair few envelopes, which means I am going to use a good amount of my sticker stash. I would say I'm slowly getting through them, but it doesn't look like I've actually made a dent in them at the moment. So these are probably, ooh, quite like that. So I would like to get rid of some of the white ones. That's quite good, isn't it? I hope the lighting, can you see okay? It's slightly darker than I thought. So now it's just, I want to get rid of some of the ones with the white edging, because I have quite a lot of those. I'll just pull out a few of those from the bottom. So these are brilliant, but the only problem with them is inking. You cannot really see, they're actually exactly the same. These are two different sticker packs. These are on the vellum and this is on white sticker paper. You can't use the Tim Holtz Distress inks on these stickers with the white edges. You do have to use the archival ink because it just rubs off. So I have got my archival ink at the ready. That's quite cute. I really do like that dragonfly in there. I think I'm going to leave that one as the dragonfly. Let's see. That's quite cute, isn't it? So that might go better on this one. Let's see. And again, they're the same, look. The same sticker, but just a different backing. And I don't even know, they did all come. No, these didn't. These, I've had these ones a lot longer. These ones didn't come from Christina. That's quite cute. Maybe find one that's got a little bit more. Oh, this one might be better. No. Nope, it's not better. Right. How does that look? I'm just not sure about that purple one yet. See what else I have. Oh. Ooh. No, that's too big. I want something that's pretty much on the white. And does it even have to be a purple flower? Not really. Sorry, just chat to myself now. No, I don't like that either. This is just the process that I was going through myself when I was. That's quite nice. But then that's quite nice. I think I'll go in that one. Okay, so let's get these stickers put away. Which one did I? Yeah, I think I'll go that one. So I'm not going to ink the vellum stickers, but I am going to ink the archival, the stickers on the white background, and I'm going to do that with my archival ink because it takes. If I use the Tim Holtz, it just rubs straight off. So it's worth bearing in mind if you want to ink your stickers. You need to use a permanent ink. I'm going to ink all of that white. Okay. Again, I mean, if you wanted to ink the vellum stickers, I'm pretty sure the Distress ink would work on those, but I'm not going to ink those. I'm going to leave those clear. And that one.
I think it's Wendy Leo that I have to thank for making things in bulk. I used to just work on one thing at a time, but after, I think Wendy did a video a few months ago now about, you know, creating in bulk, so I have started to do that a bit more. I will fast forward this part of the video if it takes me forever to get the backs off, but I'm just going to pop these stickers down. And some of these stickers you have to be careful when you remove the back, because they do tear the little pieces that kind of stick out. Right, there we go, last one. Okay, so that's the last one. They're all done, finally. Okay, so the next thing is the labels to go on the fronts of these. And this is where I am trying to use up a few more of my scraps by mounting the labels onto some kind of backing. So again, it's a bit of a decision making. See, now I think that's probably going to be a black label. What have I got? I've got red return labels. I do love these ones on these vintagey kind of, as you can tell, I did make quite a lot of these labels because they're quite handy. Now I don't even know whether that should be, are they all the same? Nope. Quite like that actually. And I've got some smaller ones. I think the black looks pretty good with the yellow. Now I've got a big red one, yep. So I'm not sure about any of those actually on that one. Let's put another one on here anyway. I've got a small black one in here. That's quite nice. I think we'll go for that one. That one. I think it does need to be that larger one actually. Okay, just pop those away. And what I'm going to do is these small ones I'm not going to mount at all. I'm just going to literally glue those on. So I'm just going to ink. I don't think I need any more backing on these and take up any more of that pretty paper, because there's not a huge amount of paper on here. I mean, that one takes up quite a lot of it as it is, doesn't it? I'm just taking the white edge off. I'm not inking over the top of the label. Okay, now for this I'm going to use my art glitter glue. Just around the edge. When I do the backs, I'll probably do one and film one, and then I'll do the others off camera, and then we'll come back, and I'll probably do the same with the mounting of the larger labels. Okay, so these ones are ready to add the back. I'll just pop those out of the way. Now this one I think I might do again something a little bit different. I think I might have, yeah I have, I've got, this is the end page for a book called The Life of Lee, and this this is black, so I'm wondering, no, that will not work at all. But I could ink up a piece of this. So I'm going to mount this onto here. Now I've got a brown thread, beige thread in my sewing machine, and I probably won't change it, but this might have looked better with black. In actual fact, maybe I will. Maybe I will make the effort and change the thread in my sewing machine just to do this particular envelope. I really should. It's so quick to change the cotton in my sewing machine, but I do find that I stick to a neutral colour, so I don't actually have to change it, and I'm sure I'm not alone. Now I think what I'm going to do on this one is going to be slightly different, is this needs to dry. I really dislike this ink. It's the Stays On. It just never ever seems to dry to me. I'm just going around the edge with the black. That's a horrible noise. I do love the smell of it. That's the one thing I do like about this ink. It smells like almonds. Okay, so that's that one. I'm just going to leave that over there to dry. So this one, let's see if I can find some. Right, I'm going to use a piece of the I'm trying to use up these scraps, but like I said, this is a whole book page, so it's probably not. Maybe I'll use a piece of this because this is scrap. Okay, I think I'll go for the torn look. I was going to cut straight around that, but I'll tear it. I want to leave enough room for a few stitches. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just glue the centre of this label onto here. And then I put glue around the outside. What a muppet. I'm going to have to wait for that to really dry. If I'd have used Fabri-Tac, it would have been a lot quicker. But I'm gonna sew all these. So that's going to be for this particular envelope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably not change the cotton in my sewing machine, to be fair. I'm just going to mount all of these and stitch around them, and then I'll be back. So I'm back. What I've done is I've just inked all the way around the envelope and this part, and I've also sewn around and cut out the border and then stuck that on to my envelope. Now I will show you the other ones that I've finished, but I just wanted to finish this one off and show you how I do it, how I did it. So because this one is a plain text page, I'm going to use the floral paper for the flap on the back. So I'm just going to tear a strip, literally just tear a strip, and I know this is from the same book, so I know it's going to be the same width, but I do want it a little bit shorter, so I'm just going to tear off those tiny little white edges. I'm going to ink around here like so. I'll just move that out of the way. It's got very, very sunny here, so I'm trying to avoid that section, and hopefully you can see clearly here. Let me just see if I can reach into my... Hopefully that's okay. So the flap is going this way round, so I want to glue this here, and I only want half of it glued on. So I'm just grabbing my Fabri-Tac because I'm going to sew this fairly soon after I glue for this video. It's starting to get towards the end now. I'm not putting a ton on, but I do want to make sure this top bit is stuck where it's not going to get sewn. Oops. Just going to pop that down there. Make sure that's in place. Then I have a little scrap of sari silk, and I'm just literally cutting that to the length I want. Now I'm going to run a bead of glue roughly along the line where the flap, the original flap is. It's a bit gloopy now. I think I had it sitting here in the sun, so it's got even thicker than it was before. And I'm just going to pop that down. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, you would simply pop a bead of glue along here and along here, and then your envelope is done. But I'm going to show you how I sew this, and I do it in a one quick sew line, so there's nothing too complicated about it. So I'm just going to have to move my lead. Got a bit stuck there. Okay. Now I'm going to use a zigzag stitch, and I'm going to open my envelope flap, and I'm popping it under the foot, the base first. Now I'm going to just literally sew along here, and that will be it, but I am going to turn the sound off while I sew, so just bear with me. So that is our finished envelope, and I think they look super cool. Even if you've got these onto the page of a journal like so, that just looks so pretty, and obviously that side will look awesome too. I love them. I'm really happy with how they've turned out. So I'm just going to show you the ones that I've finished. So these are the smaller three, and on the back, because it was a floral paper, I've just used some dictionary page, but exactly the same process. So that's those three, and I actually made another two because I really liked the drawing, so I did another two. Fairly simple. These were from that that educator book with the fairly thin paper, so these do feel really nice, but they are very thin, so they were a little bit fragile to sew, but it did work. So I did those two. And this was the dragonfly. I didn't change the colour of the ink. I'm glad I didn't, because the wings of the dragonfly are kind of this beige, so I kind of inked fairly heavily. I've just done another two little drawn marks around the edge of that. And then the back, I used floral paper because, again, it was a plain text envelope. So that's the dragonfly. This was the rose. So I love that. Lots of green, but I really like the touch of red on the back there. And then finally, there's this one. I don't know that I would tear the edge of that again. I'm not sure. I quite like the cut edge, but you know, it's a pretty envelope, so I think these are perfect for journals, and you can use any single book page you like. You know, the text, I think the text works lovely. This is my favourite, I think. I do love this envelope. But there you go. So that was just a little craft with me. Thanks for joining me. I hope you have a lovely, lovely Good Friday. It's absolutely glorious weather here. So we're going to have lunch outside, and I will be back. I have a video that I really have to do, and it's quite an exciting video with a giveaway, so I do need to do that. I will speak to you all soon. See you later. Bye.